Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have a bunch to talk about on today's show. Does Brandon Aiyuk want to be a New York Football Giant? We'll break that down. Also, there's some trade rumors surrounding Keenan Allen, and one publication said the Giants are his number one trade destination. And then we're going to touch on Xavier McKinney. Does he want a massive contract extension ASAP? We'll break that down. But first, I can't lie to you guys. I am absolutely rooting for the Chiefs, and I'm sure a lot of you will be doing that next Sunday in the Super Bowl. Chiefs, Eagles. If you want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, and more so if you just want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl, go ahead and like this video right now. Don't jinx it. Don't be the person that jinxes it. Like this video if you want the Eagles to lose the Super Bowl. We have a brand new segment coming up on the show today. Here in the offseason, we're going to be touching on a lot of rumors surrounding the New York Football Giants. And my job as the host of New York Giants Now by Chat Sports is to talk about these rumors and give you my take on them. So the new segment is the Hard Hat Rumor Meter and the Rumor Believability segment. As you guys know, we were a big hard hat channel during watch parties. I would always wear one. But a lot of times when people watch our rumors video, they're like, this guy's making up rumors. Well, number one, I don't report anything. I don't make anything up. I just react to these rumors. So we're now going to use these hard hats to scale the believability of the rumors. For instance, 0 hard hats, fake news. 1 hard hat, 1 small shred of truth. 2 hard hats, people are talking. 3 hard hats, pretty likely. And 4 hard hats, it's elite. Like you can't spell elite without Eli. It's happening. 4 hard hats. It's happening, baby. So that's how we're going to start today's show. Does Brandon Aiyuk want to be a New York Football Giant? We're giving that 2 hard hats. People are talking because the rumors and a lot of it just make sense. But yesterday, the rumors were absolutely lit on fire when Brandon Aiyuk went on Instagram and liked a picture of himself in a New York Giants uniform. This is the picture on Instagram. Pretty cool edit. Seeing Brandon Aiyuk in a Giants uniform. And right here, what does it say right there? Liked by Brandon Aiyuk. The caption says, Brandon Aiyuk is going to be a New York Football Giant. And Aiyuk liked the picture. But it goes deeper than just the picture that Brandon Aiyuk liked on Instagram as to why I think he may want to trade and why a trade could be coming. Aiyuk, who is going to be entering the 4th year of his NFL career, is eligible for a contract extension. Once you play 3 years in the NFL, you're up and able for an extension. Right now, he is set to be paid just $2.3 million in 2023. And the question becomes, can the San Francisco 49ers pay him? Also, San Francisco does not have a first-round pick in the 2023 NFL draft. So you don't have a first-round pick, and you don't really have all that much money left over after you pay some of your top dogs that are on the roster right now. The 49ers have a lot of great talent, but they also have a lot of high-paid players like Trent Williams and Eric Armstead, Fred Warner, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Charvarius Ward, Christian McCaffrey, even Trey Lance, Deebo Samuel. He may only have a cap hit of $8.8 million in 2023, but that number is going to continue to skyrocket year by year after he signed that massive extension this offseason. So with no money, do they want to pay a second receiver? And could they then look to trade Brandon Aiyuk for a first-round pick since they don't have one? Let's talk about Aiyuk as a player, though, because since he entered the NFL out of Arizona State, I think he's been one of the most exciting young receivers in the National Football League. Every year of his career, he's had over 5 receiving touchdowns. Every year of his career, he's had over 750 yards. This guy is just an elite player. He could do everything at the wideout spot. He's, in my opinion, a top 5 route runner in the NFL. He creates a lot of separation on every single route. He's got every single route in his bag that he can run. He can line up on the outside. He can line up in the slot. He's a mismatch anywhere he lines up in the field, and he absolutely is a wide receiver 1. We're going to show you some numbers in a second that prove and show you that he is a top 32, and in my opinion, a top 25 or a top 20 receiver in the National Football League. And I think there's a good reason for this. One, the Giants need a receiver. The Niners need a first-round pick. And they need to clear some of their salary cap books so they can pay other players. And I don't know if Aiyuk is one of those guys that they're going to keep in mind. Also, he fits the Giants scheme absolutely perfectly because he's a generator with the football, something Joe Schoen has talked long about as what he wants at the wide receiver spot. He can line up in the slot. He could play there. He's got versatility to where he can line up on the football field. So I think it makes sense when you think about it logically. And then football-wise, it fits scheme-wise. He would be electric in the Mike Kafka offense. We've showed you his stats so far, but let's take a deeper look at the numbers and why I truly believe Aiyuk is one of the most slept-on receivers in the National Football League. Here are some numbers that you don't see when you look at the box score right away. Yards after catch. Brandon Aiyuk had 370, which was 19th in the National Football League. He missed or forced 16 missed tackles this past year, which was the fourth most of receivers. He had 47 receiving first downs. So 47 times he caught the football this year and it was a first down. That's the 20th most in the NFL at receiver. And he was the fifth receiver ranked with quarterback rating when targeted with a minimum of 60 receptions at 118, which is fifth in the NFL. And his PFF receiving grade was 80.9, which was 21st. So we showed you the stats. The guy's elite, no doubt about it. And he goes beyond the numbers. When you look deeper at the stat sheet, it truly shows you that Brandon Aiyuk is a top 10, maybe top 15 receiver in the NFC this past year. I think he's a top 25 receiver in the National Football League. But when it comes to a trade, two teams got to come to an agreement. So let's take a quick look at some trades that happened this past offseason that might look similar to what a trade looked like. The A.J. Brown deal going from Tennessee to Philly. Eagles gave up a first-round pick, which was number 19, and a third-round pick for A.J. Brown. I would say A.J. Brown is a good bit better than Brandon Aiyuk. I wouldn't be willing to give up multiple early round picks. Davante Adams, when he was traded from Green Bay to the Las Vegas Raiders, it was a first round pick and a second round pick. I think Davante Adams is still the best receiver in the National Football League. It's not going to warrant that much. It's also not going to warrant as much as the Tyreek Hill trade when he went from Kansas City to Miami, which cost a first, second, fourth, and a sixth round pick. I think all three of these receivers are better than Brandon Aiyuk. But I think it's safe to say that Aiyuk is going to command at minimum a second-round pick, but I believe it's going to be more like a first-round pick like you see right now on screen. I believe it'll cost the Giants that 25th overall selection if they want to acquire the services of a guy like Brandon Aiyuk. So I want everyone to go down in the comment section right now and let me know. Would you make this trade if you were Joe Schoen? Would you trade the first-round pick that you have in the draft for Brandon Aiyuk? Type T for trade, type P for pass. Sound off in the comment section. Also, I want to let you guys know if a trade goes down, we are going to be going live here on the channel. We put out videos every single day on the latest Giants news and rumors. We did go live for every single game this past year. We do watch parties. We're going to be live for NFL free agency, live for the NFL draft. Videos every single day. You love the Giants, you bleed Giants blue, hit that big red sub button. Could Keenan Allen be traded to the New York Football Giants? I'm going to give this just one hard hat right now. A small shred of truth. I think there's a chance, no doubt about it. And when we show you why we believe this and where we got the report from, I think it all makes some sense. But I think Keenan Allen may still be a Charger next year, even though the Los Angeles Chargers athletic beat reporter Daniel Popper does not believe so. He said in an interview recently that he believes there's less than a 40% chance that Keenan Allen is back with the Chargers next season. There was a couple of reasons for that. The Chargers right now are $19.9 million over the salary cap. They still got a budget for a Justin Herbert massive contract extension coming down the pipeline. And Fansided listed the Giants as the number one Keenan Allen trade destination. So the Athletic is telling you there's less than a 40% chance he's back. And Fansided says that the Giants are the number one trade destination. I do believe if Allen gets traded, the Giants would be in the mix. The reason the Chargers want to move off of Keenan Allen, they're over $20 million over the salary cap, and they would save almost $15 million if they were to cut Keenan Allen, whereas if they were to trade Keenan Allen to the New York Football Giants, they would save $16.3 million. Right now, Keenan Allen, he's 30 years old. Injuries have followed his career, but the last 4 years, Keenan Allen has been somewhat durable. I know he missed some games this past year, but when you look at the 3 prior years, he missed just 2 games. And from 2017 to 2021, he missed just 3 games. 2015 to 2016, he missed 9 games. But he's been an elite player when he's on the football field. 3 straight years of over 100 receptions from 2019 to 2021. There's no doubt about it. Keenan Allen, when healthy and on the football field, is still a top receiver in the NFL. Like Brandon Aiyuk, I think he fits this offense perfectly because of his lineup versatility and the fact he's one of the best route runners in the NFL. I want you guys to pick a wide receiver, though. Who would you rather the Giants go out and trade for? I think it's going to cost more for a guy like Aiyuk. I think that's a first-round pick. I think Keenan Allen, you might be able to get him for a third-round pick, maybe a second. He's due a lot of money, and the Chargers, they need to get off of that money. So think about the trade cost it would cost to trade for one of these guys when you decide who you want, BA for Aiyuk or KA for Keenan Allen. Does Xavier McKinney want a new contract extension? This is for hard hats, baby. It's elite. Can't spell elite without Eli. It's happening. Xavier McKinney 100% wants a new contract extension. And why are we talking about this today? Because he is switching agents from Stellar USA to Athletes First. And what's the significance of that? Athletes First reps a number of the top safeties and of a lot of the safeties that are the higher earners of in the National Football League. When you talk about safeties that just got paid, a lot of them belong to Athletes First. He's also contract extension eligible. Guys like Derwin James, Budda Baker, and Landon Collins are just a couple to name that are with this agency that got massive contracts. Xavier McKinney's a damn good football player. What he's done in his young NFL career after being a second-round pick out of Alabama, he's lived up to the hype. Am I disappointed that he had to miss 6, 7, 8 games this year because of the Cabo incident and the breaking of the hands and fingers? No doubt about it. But when he's on the football field, he's a playmaker, and he's one of the best in the business. That 2021 season was electric. He was one of the only safeties, I think the only safety in the NFL with over 90 tackles, 5 interceptions, and 10 pass breakups. He's elite. And when you have an elite guy like McKinney at safety, they're going to want elite money. These are the top 10 highest paid safeties in the NFL right now, and that's what Xavier McKinney is going to be wanting to pay. Somewhere between Derwin James at $19 million of average annual value and Quandre Diggs of $13 million of average annual value. It is going to be an interesting offseason for a guy like Joe Schoen. He has a lot of tough decisions coming up. We'll talk about Xavier McKinney because that's going to be tough. Andrew Thomas, you got a budget for that extension coming up. What are you going to do with Daniel Jones? What are you going to do with Saquon Barkley? Are you going to cut Leonard Williams? Are you going to hope he agrees to a contract extension? You got to pay Dexter Lawrence sooner rather than later. The Giants have a lot of interesting decisions coming up, but I think the decision for Xavier McKinney is you have to pay him. Too good of a football player that's young, that breeds this culture, that's a captain, that's a part of this football team, and then I think would make this football team much better if he's a part of it for the next 6, 7, 8 years in the NFL. I want to ask this question, though. Is Xavier McKinney a top 10 safety in the NFL? We just showed you the 10 highest paid safeties in the NFL. I bet you that's how much money he wants to be being paid. So answer the question for me. Why for yes and for no? And I appreciate everybody for making New York Giants now a part of their day today. The rumor segment, I love it because now people can't just say, you said this and you said this. We actually can bring something that really illustrates my thoughts and belief in rumors. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Give me a follow over on Twitter @MarshallGreen_.